This little video series is called Dying Dar's Way, Radically Real Spiels on the End of Life. I'm here today with my friend Cindy Wilcox, whom I met 3 or 4 years ago while you were at Princeton Theological Seminary, and now she is the chaplain at Jersey Shore University Medical Center. And we're just going to talk about what is the chaplain service like? Whom are you serving? Just start.
So I go into people's hospital rooms and sometimes into their homes, and I ask them how they are managing between their ears and in their heart. I say the doctors and the nurses and the patient techs are taking care of you physically, and the social workers work on the logistics. And I'm just here to...
Typing.
Yeah. I'm just here wondering where you're going for hope and comfort. Where is your source of strength?
And do most people have an answer for that question?
It's really interesting. I describe it as, have you done your spiritual housekeeping? Do you know where to go for comfort and strength and hope? And some people have actually thought about where they go. Like my friend Dor. Do you know where Dor goes for her source of strength and comfort?
So I go into years and years and years of practicing for something else that happens to be very useful at the end of life. And it's just called leading an examined life, which you can do regardless of whatever spiritual tradition you come from. So,
an examined life.
yes.
So Dor just shared with me that she has lived with intention, and in the season of life she's in right now, she's at peace knowing that every day she woke up doing what she thought she was called to do, and she's been doing it. So it's not a season overlooking her shoulder of regret, but a season of reflection and...
Yeah. So we were talking about basically, why am I okay? Like, why am I okay? And I do live with the sense that I listened. What are my marching orders? Feeling like I was showing up, and now I'm, halfway or to the median life expectancy for somebody with stage 4 lung cancer. And I really do feel like I did what I came here to do, and that's where the peace comes from. That's where the strength comes from. So, can you, without going against any professional obligations, share some of the experiences that you've had as a chaplain?
So I met someone, and one of the questions was, do you have a spiritual background? And she shared that she has a specific faith, but she hadn't found any comfort in that, or that institution, or going to that building. And I asked her if she'd ever experienced the presence of something bigger than her. And she said, oh yes, after 9/11, she'd lost some family members, but she'd seen butterflies everywhere. And she knew that all of the people that she'd lost had gotten home safely to their creator. And I said, so my prayer for her, I said to her, is that you would have more butterfly experiences. I pray that you will see the thumbprint of your creator on certain things, that you would have more butterfly experiences. The very next day, I came to visit her, and she was at the hospital, and she was in a procedure, and so her bed was empty, and there were no sheets on it. And the brand of bed she'd been laying on for 2 weeks had a butterfly logo on it, and she'd been sitting on it. So when she came back from the procedure, we laughed and we cried, and we were so sure. And she was so sure that her creator was with her through it all. That was amazing. And that's my prayer for everybody, is like, keep your eyes open. I'm telling you, you're going to get signs if you're looking that you are not alone on this plane or this plane.
So, okay, this is someone who did have a faith community, but it wasn't that prepared her. So, just sort of as a general question for people who become chaplains, you're a special breed, you have to be prepared for whatever comes your way. People from all different faith communities and people who have no faith community, like, do you get special training in that, or how do you be available to everybody?
Yeah, so there's specific, other than Master in Divinity, you have to have a chaplaincy certification, so you do chaplaincy training.
Okay.
Yeah. But the most interesting question I ask people is, do you think you have total control over everything?
Oh,
Question number one.
you put them on the spot like that.
No, it's like, okay, do you think that there's something bigger that might have more control than you? Do you think that something bigger is benevolent? Do you think it takes requests? Those are the questions, and I'm not giving you answers. I'm just, contemplation and reflection of what is that bigger something. I call it the great not me. And
The great not me. I like that.
it's
I'm going to steal it.
It's Anlamont. But it's like, can we come to a season of palms up, knowing I'm not in control of most things. The only thing I can control is what's going on in my thoughts and in my spirit.
Right.
That's the only
Oh,
thing I
good.
can control.
If you're controlling that, you're doing
Right,
really
that's a big
well.
job. That's a huge job, right? And so can we come with palms up and hearts open to experience what we're supposed to experience and learn what we're supposed to learn every day?
So I always feel like with these videos, we're helping people who are not entirely ready either for themselves or for a loved one. I am a big advocate for non-specific preparation so that you're just sort of the terrain on which a better experience can happen. Do you have some thoughts on how we can be as we walk through life so that death isn't this horrible, disconnected, separate thing?
Yeah.
What you got, Cindy?
Yeah. So, did you know that the death rate among humans is up to 100% these days? 100%. It's not weird.
So just keep that in front of you,
Right.
in front of your face.
And one of my favorite phrases is show up, burn bright, live passionately, and leave the rest up to divinity. And I happen to know somebody that shows up, burns bright, and lives passionately, and leaves the rest up to divinity.
Thanks, Cindy.
Thank you.